I am super excited to have our next guest on the podcast today. She's been making you laugh for nearly 2 decades. You've seen her on The Daily Show. When you're not seeing her on screen, you're hearing her voice from some of your favorite characters. Please welcome my special guest and someone I'm very fortunate to call a close personal friend, Dulce Sloan.
2 decades, bitch?
Yeah, nearly 2 decades.
God.
You don't know that?
Listen, here's the thing. I know that in May it'll be 17 years.
Exactly.
I hear all of the numbers and all of the words. It's just that you don't know until you know.
Yeah.
Until someone puts the math together. Because I have a liberal arts degree. Mm-hmm. So I don't math. You see.
Well, see, yes. I also don't math because I have I don't have a music degree either. I got kicked out. But what I'm saying is,
hey,
we both started in 2009. I started drag in 2009.
Oh,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Look at artists, okay?
We started. We made it.
We did stuff. It's so funny. It's like yeah, because I graduated from college with a Bachelor of Art in Theater in 2005.
Okay.
In May of 2005, and then I graduated from my stand-up class in May of 2009.
Oh. So where'd you take stand-up?
At a comedy club in Atlanta taught by Big Kenny. So I started out hanging out at a comedy club because one of my little sisters from college worked the door of the club.
Okay.
And one day she was like, hey, you can come and get in this comedy club for free because I'm working the door. And I was like, bet, I ain't doing shit.
Let's go. And
so I would go up there to hang out with her. And I started just meeting comics and talking to them. And Big Kenny was like, oh, you're funny. You should come do stand-up. And I was like, nah, I'm good because stand-up scared me.
Yeah.
And he was like, no. I was like, no. And so for
no.
He's like, you know what funny is?
Yeah.
He's like, you know how to tell a funny story? And I was like, yeah, I'm Southern. I know how to tell a story.
Exactly.
And I've been performing for my whole life. I know how to tell a story. He was like, you know, our punchline is you just need to. He's like, you know the punchline. You just need to learn how to just structure a joke.
Yeah.
And so it took him 2 years to convince me. And then the class came around again, and I was on unemployment because I got laid off.
What was the job?
I was working customer service at a car insurance company. Because before that, I had worked because I got that job because I used to talk to them all the time because I used to manage an auto body shop.
Oh, okay.
And then so it was a car thing before I got out of college.
She loved working with cars.
Mm-hmm. So I was working at a shady car lot, and they moved me over, and then I left there and went and worked at a different car lot, and then I got the auto body job, and then I got the insurance job, and then I got laid off.
Was this all during school or after
this
school?
This was all within 2 years after I graduated from school.
Oh, my God.
4 years. So I got out of college in 2005, and then I started working at the car lot a couple months later.
Okay.
And then from there, so by 2009, I was laid off. So I worked there, laid off. And so my unemployment check was like $385 a week, right? And this comedy class was $300.
Oh.
And I was like, Big Kenny, that's my whole unemployment check. I don't have this money to give you. And he goes, oh, you're supposed to be a comic. I'm not going to make you pay for the class. And I was like, I don't know. And I told my mom about it. And then she said she had a dream that the whole world was laughing at me. And I was like, all right, Jesus gave my mama a dream.
When mama has a dream,
you got to go.
Then you got to go.
Black Southern mom had a dream, girl.
All right, well, here we go.
And then now 16 almost,
and some change.
16 and some change. I'm back in Los Angeles. I was able to buy a house because of the Daily Show and Great North. And I moved my family out here. So, yeah, everybody's here.
Yay. So how did you get into the Daily Show? Because that's where I was first exposed to you, is on the Daily Show. And I remember seeing you on the Daily Show, and it made me so happy.
Thank you.
I remember the first day I saw you, and I was like, who's that? Because, I mean, they had some black people on the Daily Show.
Well, at the time, it was Trevor, and then Roy. And then before that, because Trevor came in 2015, and then Jessica Williams was on with John.
Yeah.
And then she left and John left. And then Trevor came in. And then I auditioned because Comedy Central. So I'd done some stuff. So I was about. Let's see, this audition was 2017, so I started stand up in 2009.
So would you say that you did your Comedy? Did your Comedy Central special come first, or did Daily Show come first?
Daily Show come first.
Okay.
So I got Daily Show. I auditioned for Daily Show because Comedy Central reached out to my reps because they were looking for. Because I'm trying to figure out, because I'd done like a few things for I did Road to Roast Battle, but my roast didn't air. Which is great because it was not great.
Okay.
One of my a comic called me and said, "I know that God loves you because your roast didn't air."
They said we're not putting that on.
No, but what was so funny is one of the roasts they did air was worse than mine.
Huh?
Oh yeah, it was awful. And they still let it go out.
And they still showed it to people. That's the thing.
Listen, they showed it to people. I still got paid. So whether you showed it or not,
I still get the money.
Listen, best $1,056 I ever made.
Especially when you need it, honey.
Listen, I was in an apartment here. Yeah, so you completely understand.
I have done so many films. I filmed for. How about this? I filmed for American Hustle, the David O. Russell. I was in that movie, apparently, but not really. And then I also filmed for Pose, and both cutting room floor each time. But guess what wasn't on that cutting room floor?
That check!
That check, honey! That money came through right when I needed it, too.
I was doing colleges at the time. So I was living in L.A., but most of the colleges I were doing were on the East Coast, especially Pennsylvania. So I was getting earliest flight I could get, flying out to Pennsylvania, either landing in Pittsburgh or Philly, and then getting a rental car and driving anywhere from 1 to 5 hours into the state of Pennsylvania. Which is full of mountains.
Yeah.
And I promise you almost died. Listen, we've got the Allegheny, we've got the Shenandoah, and I've driven through them multiple times, almost died in Pennsylvania. But you got to pay your bills. So. Yeah,
some of those mountains, you're right on the side of the mountain. You can see the whole town. You feel like if I blink, I'm dead.
I'm dead.
Yeah,
I'm dead.
I really hate it.
I did a lot of driving, and so when I was able to afford to have someone come with me, I started bringing somebody with me because being on the road, because I did 60 colleges and 40 of them I did by myself. Oh, wow. The other ones I brought my homeboy with me. And the best part about bringing your homeboy with me is he won't let you drive. No, I did bring one of my homeboys with me, and I was driving, and I was like, why are you in this car? Yeah. There's a man here. Why am I driving?
Well, I have to drive. I'm a control freak when it comes to driving. I also get really bad
motion
sickness if I'm not driving.
Oh.
I have to drive.
No, it was hard for me because
unless I'm asleep,
I'm very much I'm in a car kind of situation. Yeah. So that was hard when I first started on the road because my body was like, hey, you've been in the car for 2 hours.
Go to sleep.
Why are you awake? And it's like, because I'm operating a motor vehicle.
Yes.
I'm operating heavy machinery.
We will be dying if we.
We will be dying if I close my eyes.
Yeah.
Shout out to the little brrrr on the side of a freeway.
Baby, that thing will keep you together. That brrrr. Once you hear rrr,
I'm up.
What do you mean? Who's falling asleep?
Who?
Not me.
Not. Sheesh. And the problem is, it's 1 p.m.
Yeah. The sun is out.
The sun is high in the sky.
It's beaming on my face.
Hey. And I still got to perform.
See, this is the thing about me. I can't nap. So I can't fall asleep during the day. I
had to nap before I came here. If I did not take that, I would be talking to you with one eye closed. I had to. Yeah, girl, interview, podcast.
Thank you, podcast interview.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be a part of your podcast world.
So you're born in Miami, but raised in Atlanta. Mostly raised in Atlanta. Where else were you raised?
So I was born in Miami. So actually, me and my mom were born in the same hospital.
Oh, so your mom is from Florida,
right?
Okay.
And so but her mom grew up in Perry, Georgia, so country ass Georgia.
Yeah, I ain't never heard of Perry.
Middle of Georgia.
Yeah.
So because there's Atlanta and then there's Georgia.
Yeah.
It's one of those places because when we went to when Daily Show went to Atlanta, I was trying to explain. Me and Roy were trying to explain to Trevor. Because Trevor had never experienced true Southerners. No. And we were trying to explain to him that once you hit certain parts of the South, black people and white people sound exactly the same. And my grandma's from one of those places where the black people and the white people sound exactly the same. Yeah. We're driving the same trucks. We all have camo on. And so we were both born in Miami, and then my brother and so we moved to Oklahoma, where my father's from, and my brother and my father were born in Oklahoma.
Okay.
And then they split. Not to tell my mother's business, but they split. And then we moved to Colorado, where my aunt lived.
Okay.
With her husband. And then we moved to Atlanta, and all of this happened before I started kindergarten.
Oh, wow. That's a lot.
Mm-hmm. And then we moved back to Miami after Hurricane Andrew. And then my grandpa passed away, my mom's dad.
Yes, okay.
And then we moved back to Atlanta.
Do you remember any of this? Mm-hmm. You remember it all?
Yeah, because I went to 5 elementary schools.
Yeah. Were you like really good at making friends, and then so like when you left, it was like, God damn it.
Yeah, I was. And there's a weird typo in my book where I was saying that I don't have any friends from before. Like, I don't have... So, I typed, I don't have contact with any friends that I met before the 7th grade because we lived so many places. Mm-hmm. They changed it to, I didn't have any friends before the 7th grade. That's not the same sentence.
Nope, not at all.
That's not the same sentence at all. But sometimes books change things, and these things happen. So, when I did audiobook, I was able to change it.
Okay.
But... also, sometimes it's just the grammar, and you're like, oh, I missed... So I don't know if they did it or if I did it, but it's wrong. And so I was able to make friends. I had to adapt quickly because we would move to different places quickly.
Yeah.
But the one school I didn't make a lot of friends was we moved back to Atlanta. We were staying in the city of Atlanta. Mm-hmm. And I'm second generation suburbs.
Yeah.
And so we moved there, and I was like, oh, hey. This
ain't it.
This ain't it. I'm not used to these black people.
This is a different kind of black.
These black people. And they asked me, like, because I'd always grown up, I was grown up with, like, because the schools I went to in Miami were mixed, and the suburbs were mixed.
Yeah.
And so everybody sounded the same.
Yeah.
And then I get to school, and they're like, why do you talk white? And I'm like, didn't know that I did.
Baby.
Didn't know that I did. Because I was around other black people who also sounded like this.
Yeah.
Because I was around white kids who also sounded like this, and Latin kids who also sounded like this.
Exactly.
We just speak, this is a suburb accent.
I'm not even from the suburbs, and the funny thing about it is my mom refused to let me develop a Houston or Dallas accent. My mom's from Dallas, and in Dallas they say stuff like "her," "come over here," and in Houston it's just gutter. It's just people think, oh, Beyonce talks like Houston people. It's like, nope, it's worse. It's worse than that. Even.
I remember Miami, they would say like screet, scrimp. Library, ambulamp, stuff like that.
We have ambulamps.
Ambulamps I think was general, but street, scrimp, south shit, stuff like that.
I have a question. That's Atlanta right there.
That is Miami.
Oh, that's south shit.
So south shit, screet, scrimp.
Sausage.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Specifically scrimps, screet, anything with that sound. Mm-hmm. Because by the time I was born, my grandma didn't have a Southern accent.
Okay.
My mother said my grandma would read the newspaper out loud every day while she was growing up to lose her accent.
My grandmother, I feel like she did the same thing. She worked at a place called Perfect and Gertz. It was an oil place, and she basically was working around all these white people. And so my Nona didn't have an accent. My mom doesn't have an accent. The rest of my family has some semblance of like a Dallas accent.
Yeah.
But when I was in school, people always were like, you talk white. And my dad is half Thai and half Mexican. So my half Thai, half Mexican dad would come and pick me up. And everybody like, yo, daddy white. You got a white daddy. Your white daddy here to come pick you up. Hilarious. And I was like, And I also went to a school with only black people. Like, we had one Mexican kid in the, like, the preschool. And that was like, across the street and down the street. Yeah. And so, like, I never even saw this child, but I saw him one time when we were all together in something.
There's proof.
Yeah. I was like, oh, there is somebody who's not black in this school.
See, I always went to mixed schools, and so when we moved back to Atlanta, I was like, I came home every day, and I asked my mother, when are we moving? Mainly because the school was in the city, and it was underfunded. Yeah. This was 96. Yeah, this had to be 95. Okay. And Clinton's president. But my books don't. But the book that I have in my social studies class said that Jimmy Carter was the president.
Currently.
There was nothing. Yeah. They don't know how Vietnam ended. It was like. I pulled down.
Is it over?
Are we done?
Are we done?
I mean, they definitely know how Korea ended, because technically Korea hasn't ended because of the DNZ, but that's not the point.
Never ended.
Gracias. But I remember looking at a map in my social studies class, and I was like, does that say USSR? I thought Gorbachev tore down that wall. What's happening in the school?
What's going on?
So, and I always had like higher level and gifted classes.
So you had already learned
So
all this
I
stuff.
knew there was something amiss.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, hey. But then at one point, like, we'd have to go to assemblies in the gym. There was a metal detector.
Uh-huh. See, that's ooh, that's scary.
But it was only if there was an assembly in the gym.
Mm-hmm.
The whole rest of the school was no. And then there were girls because I was in the 6th grade.
Okay.
There were girls that were pregnant in the
6th grade.
but they were 15. And I was like,
you're supposed to be in the 9th or 10th.
you're not supposed to be here.
You're not supposed to be here.
I was 15 in the 10th grade.
Me too.
So I'm doing.
Wait.
When are we moving? And my mother was like, give me a second. We just got back.
Mm-hmm.
And then eventually we moved to Gwinnett County. And I was like, all right, I'm good.
Yeah.
Because it was a level of, this was the level of education I was accustomed to.
Yeah.
And I was always a smart kid.
Mm-hmm.
So I knew something was amiss when you give me a trophy for my test scores. For the standardized test. And they gave me 2 trophies.
Because you were that girl.
I scored well. But there was like a thing. And I was just like, well, what do you...
A trophy? Isn't that just supposed to be the case?
For an Iowa test?
Yeah.
Why are you giving trophies for Iowa test? I got 2 trophies for Iowa test.
Iowa tests?
Yeah. So like the standardized test, and then we give kids every year. It's called the Iowa test. Okay. And so I was like, so y'all looked at all the school's test scores, and then they gave me 2. I scored so well, they gave me 2 trophies.
Yeah.
I don't even know what they said. I think they were just like backup trophy. I was like, what is happening?
Like, you won the test.
And it was like this, like Aladdin lamp little looking, and like, you know, academic trophy. And I was like, this is great. And I got home and I went with my mother. They gave me trophies for standardized testing. When are we moving? And
we gotta go. We gotta get out of here.
And then once we moved, I was like, oh, a current map, a current book, but it's funding.
Yeah.
It was all funding. There was a lot of apartment complexes around, and then the city school is always going to be underfunded.
Do you know if that has gotten better?
I left Crawford Lawn Middle School and never looked back. I don't know what they're doing.
I don't know what they're doing.
It's none of my business. It's none of my concern. Because once I got to Lilburn Middle School, I was like,
yay.
Yay.
This is what I came for.
Yes, black people that own businesses. Yeah. So it was just like, it was because but it sucked because I was able to see like, oh, this isn't fair.
Yeah.
This isn't right.
Yeah.
And then people think about like only inner city school. It's anywhere where the tax dollars are low. Mm-hmm. So if you go to very rural areas in this country, it's the same thing.
Way. Yeah.
Because like we would get the county would buy us new books every year.
Yeah.
But then the books we had, like if you wrote in them, we have to erase them because they were donating books to other schools. And I was like, can you donate these to Crawford Lawn Middle School?
Because they need it.
Yeah. Because my book said that, so by the second, so I get there in February, my social studies teacher is just teaching from memory as of this point. Yeah. Because there's no more book.
Yeah.
Once Reagan hit, he's like,
I think this happened. I had a funny thing that used to happen for my school. And the funny thing about my school is, when I was in middle school, is that it was a private school. And then it became a charter school, but it was a private school. So
I thought charter schools were like something that just happened.
How old do you think I am?
No. I know you're not 20.
No, I'm 37.
Right. I thought charter schools were something we've only done in the past like 15 years.
At least not in Texas. Texas did a lot of things first. So, like the whole wave of no arts in school stopped at Texas because they were like, nah, we're gonna have the arts in school in Texas. But my middle school was an all black private school. My great aunt's, my nanny, who is my mom's first cousin, went to this school. It was right down the street from where I lived, and where I went to elementary school first, very mixed. It was like mainly black and Latino, but when I went to this school, only black people. And I remember one of the teachers came in and we were learning history, social studies history. At some point, social studies is history, but also so she's telling us what the book says, and she puts the book down and goes, okay, that's what the test is going to tell you. Now it's time for you to learn the true history of this country. Right. And that's what I really appreciated about being in a school that, our books, I don't know how up to date they were. I don't
Right.
really know because it just wasn't something that I noticed.
Mm-hmm.
But I did realize that she was not going to allow us to just read this book and think that that was what life was.
Right.
Because we were in an all-black school, they wanted us to be prepared to be black in the world.
Right. And so, because here's the thing, I don't want people to think that every city of Atlanta school was completely underfunded.
Mm-hmm.
This was because we were in this part of the city of Atlanta.
Yeah.
Because if you go to other parts of the city
Mm-hmm.
where there's just a higher
Tax
bracket,
mm-hmm.
higher property taxes, higher median income. The whole city itself isn't completely underfunded because
mm-hmm.
schools go by district.
Yes.
So I don't need anybody messaging me. That's not true. Calm down. Down them over there by there.
You spoke specifically about one school.
And that I
will
area.
say that is what happened.
And that is what happened at the time. And unless it's been gentrified, it's what still happened.
So were you like really funny in school? Like were people always laughing at you in school?
I don't remember being this person.
Yeah.
And as in like people message me like, oh my God, you weren't so funny in school. And I'm like,
really?
Was I wasn't cracking jokes all day.
Yeah.
The class clown kid annoyed me.
But you're not cracking jokes all day. You just happen to be funny.
Right. So there's a class clown kid who drove me crazy because I just one day was like, you need attention. We get it.
Yeah.
Please do the theater class. Do something that's going to take a chorus class, take a theater class, do something because you were interrupting my day.
Yeah.
I'm trying to learn this.
And when I was in school, I had some really funny friends and they were not class clowns. They just happened to kind of be annoyed by other people. And I just would like sit next to them and just listen to them talk shit. And I'd be like, girl, you are it.
I was more that person.
You were her.
I was more that like, oh, what's and truly in the Alyssa Edwards, what the fuck is happening here on today?
Oh, yeah.
I've always been the one to go, is this what? I remember specifically there was this one white girl and she was always going, we were in this math class and this black math teacher, and I can't remember her name, but she wore purple every single day. And she was young too. And we had to do something with statistics, and this girl would bring up NSYNC anytime she could bring NSYNC up, she'd bring NSYNC up. And one day I was like, hey, you know, if you died tomorrow, they would have no idea who you are. Mm-hmm. And she got so upset. My teacher was like,
you didn't think you were funny. You just said that.
She was stressing me out. Because once again, there's this diatribe about NSYNC. And I just went one day, I was like, hey, you were interrupting a lesson.
Yeah.
Girl, no one understands this fucking algebra. Where do all these letters come from? Be quiet. I was like, hey, young lady, girl, shut up about NSYNC. Nobody gives a shit. And so she's like, oh, you have like Backstreet Boys. I said, I like Bone Thugs and Harmony. Be quiet, right? And so one day, I had it. And I was like, you know, if you die tomorrow, they will. Justin's not showing up to the funeral. You know that, right?
He's not.
Truly said this in class. I had to be like, what, in the 11th grade? And
did you get in trouble?
Kind of.
Yeah, okay.
So she gets all upset and stuff and starts crying. People look at us, and everybody looked at me. I was like, what? I said, were you enjoying her talking about NSYNC all the time? They were like, that was me. And I said, it wasn't me. And she was interrupting my education. And so my teacher pulls me to the side and goes, listen. She said, you can't say those things. I said, but I wasn't wrong. She's like, I didn't say that you were wrong. I'm just saying that if you're going to say it, don't say it like that. I said, and she said, you understand me? And I was like, well, she said, do you understand? And I was like, so I'm not in trouble? She said, no, but just look upset.
That's what I'm talking about.
Because she was like, I'm tired of her talking about it too. I can't, and I've tried my best to say it. She said, I wouldn't have put it that way, but go sit down. And so I sat, and my friend was like, you were in trouble? And she looked at me and I was like, yeah, I'm in trouble. Girl, I had to, but like, she was just like, thank you. Thank you. And she shut up about that fucking NSYNC for the rest of the year. Oh, she was stressing me out fucking on my education.
Your teacher said you did what needed to be done.
Basically.
But I need you to pretend like I am giving you the business right now, okay?
Just a stern talking to. And I was like,
right.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. It was very much like a, don't say it like that. Don't do it like that.
Don't do it like that.
But
good job.
I'm not particularly angry that you said it. And I was just like, okay, thank you. And she's like, go sit down.
No.
Because she's
like, no, thank you.
Thank you. No, she couldn't tell me thank you like you wanted to. She said, I wouldn't have put it that way.
But go off, sis.
Basically, it was a go off, sis. But I know you got classic questions. I'm just rambling about school.
No, I love it. School is, I loved school in many ways. My mom recently found a thing of that I used to talk a lot in school.
Mm.
She found one of my report cards.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like when I was like, I don't know, very, very young, maybe
Mm-hmm.
6 or 7.
I had one of those.
And it was just like, hey, O'Neill's very smart. He finishes his work really quickly, but he does talk a lot.
I had those.
Maybe you might want to get him some medicine. And my mom was like, no.
Medicine? What medicine?
They wanted me to be put on ADHD medication.
Yeah, I remember when they were giving out Ritalin like bank candy.
Yeah.
And I remember one of my brother's kindergarten teacher was trying to get him put on the things that would just dull children.
Yeah.
And she was a kindergarten teacher in her 60s. And my
She's
mother
like,
went.
I can't with y'all.
And my mother was like, so she had this conversation. My mother ended up telling her, maybe you're too old for this job.
If you can't handle it,
ma'am, you were in their 60s. He is 5.
He's 5.
Maybe you need to teach older grade of kids. It's not going to require you to chase after them. You're not putting my child on medication.
Yeah.
And so, because it's interesting, my mom would tell us about different little like racist things that would happen. But she also, I remember her telling me about something that happened when she was growing up. Because like it's, the next generation always has to handle nonsense, right?
Yes.
But not the nonsense from the generation before.
Mm-hmm.
So like, I would have to deal with teachers. And so my mother would handle them, but my mother also said to me, you have to be in class with them every day.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah.
So I can call the school, but you're going to have to deal with them.
Yeah.
And so I had to be like 7 or 8. Mm-hmm. So once you realize as a black or brown child that you're going to have to deal with these teachers, and people think that only white teachers are racist. I've had racist black teachers.
Yes.
And nobody talks about that.
Well, I went to a school. Did you have corporal punishment?
They tried it. I was
I was like, I know you're from the suburbs because that might not be as much of a thing.
No. It's a age thing. So like, because even suburban schools did this. I know we went to school the school I went to for kindergarten tried it. Because if you went to school that had corporal punishment, your parents had to give permission.
Yeah, you had to write it. They had to sign it off. And my parents signed off. They said, I got a job to do. I'm going to do the same thing you going to do, so just do it.
My mother did not agree to that.
Yeah,
but
my
also
parents definitely did.
But
they
not
wrote it off.
But she didn't agree to it but also I think a teacher hit me on the hand. I told my mom, and she hadn't agreed to it but they also had not asked her.
See, yeah, that's not
because I think at that time that was a school. It was a predominantly black school in College Park that was in a good area, but so they just assumed every parent was on board. And my mother's like, "No, you're not gonna hit my child," because in my family we didn't whoop other people's children. My grandma never whooped me. My uncles and stuff. I think my uncle tried to whoop my brother. My mother flipped out, and I think my grandma, me and my brother, we were definitely the whooping was not a surprise.
Yeah.
But when my mom came home, my grandma was like, "Marianne, I need you to whoop Dulce and Lawrence." And I told one of my friends about it. He was like, "Man, your grandma put a hit on you?" And I was like, "My grandma didn't put a hit on me."
Well, yes, she did.
Technically. Okay. But in my we didn't. My mother, I had aunts and cousins who their grandma would, whoop them or whatever. But where we were,
we didn't do that.
You didn't hit other people's kids.
Hit your child.
No. Come hit your kid.
Yeah.
Your kid did this.
Go get him.
Come hit your kid. Don't put your hands on my child. Yeah. So the corporal punishment, my mother was not down for that. My mother's the only person who ever whooped me.
Yeah, we had corporal punishment, and I got hit quite a few times, either for not doing. The thing about it is, it was for not doing homework, or for talking in class.
Yeah,
I got into a fight. I got hit, but one time I did tell a teacher that nobody liked her ass, and that one I might have deserved. She sat me down, and I said, "That's why nobody likes your ass."
Okay, you were cussing in class and being rude.
She was the gym teacher.
Oh, listen, I can say.
But she wasn't no gym teacher. You know what I mean?
Whenever there's a gym teacher in a classroom situation, like, why? In there whistling, some kids running. Why are you here?
She sat me down. She was like, "You can't do this." She goes, "Sit down." I was like, "That's why nobody likes your ass."
I'm also a child.
They, honey, Mr. Watts, I remember his name because anybody who hits me, I remember your name.
True.
When he picked me up and he hit me 3 times. Only 3. He only needed 3. And the thing is, people are like, oh, some people nowadays are into spanking. I am a spanker. And I do believe it might be connected to this. But he is a grown-ass man.
Yes.
With a kind of a football football build. Hitting a child.
No.
With a wooden paddle. With holes in it. So for the wind resistance. That hurt so much.
Because it's a grown man hitting a child.
I don't think anyone realizes.
I think
realized.
They definitely realized. And so, but people have to realize it was like, this wasn't just a black school thing. This used to be a nationwide thing.
Oh, yeah.
And then it kind of simmered down to being in the South.
Mm-hmm.
But I knew white kids who then went to white schools that still had corporal punishment.
Especially like Catholic schools.
Yeah, like a Catholic school or whatever, which I always thought was completely nuts. But again, I'm on a tangent. You have so many cards. What other questions do you have? You know I ramble.
No, we're good.
Okay.
Just keep going.
But yeah, it's I liked school because I remember when I was in high school, my friends, one of my friends was going to skip school, and they're like, "Oh, we're going to skip school. Let's go." And I was like, "What are y'all gonna do?"
Nah, I'm sorry.
I'm just asking because they would skip school all the time, and I was like, "Well, what do y'all do? Where do y'all go?" And so because with the county we were living in Gwinnett County, we had truant officers.
Mm-hmm.
So for years, don't know what a truant officer is. It was a grown adult who would just be around places looking for rogue teenagers who should
be in school.
It's Wednesday. It's 10 a.m. Why are you not at school? You should technically be in third or fourth period. Mm-hmm. And so if they found you, they would ask you what school you went to, and they would take you to school. Mm-hmm. And this was a city, it was a statewide thing.
I feel like it was like a countrywide thing.
It was a country, when they went looking for you. That's like when I moved to New York or when I moved here, I would see kids. I was like, it's 1 p.m. Why are you not at school?
Well, yeah,
and it's a bunch of them.
I don't know that school runs as long as it used to, which is also very, very alarming.
Because I remember being in New York being like, it's October, it's Wednesday. Why are you not at school?
You know where your children are?
No, that's why in the 90s, because I saw something online and somebody was like, so were kids in the 90s really out? Everybody was like, yes.
Yes.
They literally put on a commercial that said, do you know
where your children
it's dinner time. Do you know where your children are? This was in the 80s and 90s because we used to be outside. Because this comic Orny Adams that I absolutely love, he was just like, you can't punish kids nowadays by sending them to their room because they're already in there.
Yeah. Which is funny because, I can remember riding my bike in Dallas down the street to my friend's house and going around the corner and not even and I don't know Dallas like that, but I remember going to my other friend's house over there. I got beat up by 3 kids and I think they stole my bike.
But see, that's the thing. It's are kids on bikes like they used to be?
I don't know what children do at all.
Is the bike industry flourishing like it used to? Because you had to have a bike. When we were kids, you had to have a bike.
You had to have a bike. Well, kids are they're not going outside.
But outside, because what was the biggest punishment? When you couldn't go outside and
your
friends
were outside, yeah.
When your friends are like, hey, we're going to go do nothing. We're just outside. But it's just can you come outside? No, I'm on punishment. I have to stay in the house.
Well, now it's your friends can't come over.
And then your friends can't come over. Yeah. But not only that, your friends couldn't come over, and then you couldn't go outside. And then you couldn't use the phone.
And you couldn't use the phone.
Kids, but we had video games. Maybe because it was okay, yeah, kids playing now.
We had video games, but then we would be like, okay, we're done with this. Let's go do something else.
Yeah, because there's so many times you can play Mortal Kombat.
There's only so many times you can play Mortal Kombat.
But if you think about it, games now. So I used to play Candy Crush. Mm-hmm. And the reason I stopped playing Candy Crush is because I got to level 10,000. And then I was like, oh, this doesn't end.
This doesn't end.
There's no, you would play the video game, and then you would beat the boss.
And then you'd
be done with the game.
Yeah.
Or you're like, okay, well, let me beat the boss faster. But there was an ending to the game.
Well, my favorite thing is that my aunt would just say, get out of this house.
Yes, get up.
Go outside and play.
My mother said when she was a kid, they used to lock the door. They would put them out and lock the door.
Yeah.
And be like, come back when the sun goes down.
Figure it out.
In Miami.
Mm-hmm.
Drinking out of hoses because you had no
whatever
choice.
Happened? Why all of us? I mean, I know that kids started going missing and stuff.
Oh no, they've always been going missing. My mother grew up in Florida. Florida has always had the highest child abduction rate of any state.
Yeah, but whatever happened to predictability? Yeah.
The
milkman, the paper boy, even TV. But whatever happened to kids just going out or sending your kids out? I know that there was this big shift once it started happening everywhere where kids were going missing.
They've always been going missing.
Then I guess it's television that exposed the fact that they were missing.
I think it was just you hoped your kid came back.
Then why not just? I just don't understand how these kids are just so glued to I think it's the phones. It's the phones.
Yeah, it's the internet. It's the phones.
It's the phones because what happened is parents used to have to actually entertain their own children.
We had nothing to do in the house. We went outside because there was nothing. I did my homework.
But babies now are on your phone.
I can say that one of my nieces or somebody was like, "Do you have games on your phone?" I said, "No, I'm 42." I said, "Wait a minute. I got Mahjong on my phone. You want to play Mahjong?" She's like, "What's that?" I was like, "Hey, unless you want to learn how to count to 9 in Chinese, what you want to do?" But it's just like,
yes, please.
yes.
A game is a game. I don't care.
Listen, ni hao.
Let's do it. Tony, ma.
Listen, I think it was just like, no. We know stuff. It's
Not
America.
yours.
Listen, it's America. Annyeonghaseyo. We have to know things. Well, I think about like as a kid, the number of times we were just like I saw this kid in a booth. Like me and my friend were at a restaurant, and this kid was standing up in the booth. Had to be like 3 years old, and just the kid wasn't making any noise, but just like waving.
Yeah.
Just saying hi, and the kid wasn't being a nuisance. They weren't doing shit. And the parent and I was like, I remember the number of times like I would have made her sit down and be quiet and all this other shit. And this kid just standing up, just looking around. And the mother didn't mind. I was like, damn, the number of times I would have been like, the number of times a kid growing up probably it would have been easier to just let the child look around at everybody at this restaurant than making them sit down and be quiet and sit down and be quiet. Yeah. You got to do this and you got to do that. And it's like, I feel like kids are a little bit, like when it comes to that aspect, because sometimes when I see like a 5-year-old watching an iPad in a restaurant and the kid's just eating his food, watching an iPad instead of yelling or throwing it, and I was like, I get it.
I mean, I was a kid. I was not an annoying child.
Right.
I was very, very, I was a lovable kid. So
right.
when I was the kind of kid who whenever I entered, do you remember Black Eyed Peas? I don't know if y'all had that. Remember Black Eyed Peas? Remember
the restaurant or the band?
The restaurant.
No.
Okay, so there's a restaurant called Black Eyed Peas, and they have little tchotchkes on all the shelves. And whenever we would go to Black Eyed Peas, I would first of all say goodbye to every single person in the restaurant.
Raised right.
And then I would say goodbye to every single tchotchke in the restaurant. Goodbye, Mr. Pig. Goodbye, Mr. Rooster. Goodbye. Goodbye, Wagon.
And your mom let you do that.
She did. And guess what? No one was annoyed. Everyone thought I was adorable because I wasn't like screaming or anything.
Right.
I was just like, bye. It's good to see you. I was the mayor of
Absolutely.
Black Eyed Peas, and when I left, I wanted everyone to know that they were taken care of by me.
Absolutely.
That I loved them.
It made sense because like my mom said that I hadn't even started kindergarten yet, and she said we were at a doctor's office. I think I was getting my shots to start school. She said I was flitting around like I was going around like pretending I'd never taken a tap dancing lesson, but I think I'd seen it on TV, and because it was the 80s, so everybody knew how to tap dance.
Yeah.
And she said I was going around this doctor's office pretending I can tap dance, like just because I had these sandals on, because it's like collect. And this lady goes, "Oh my goodness, you tap dancing?" I say, "Yes." And she's like, "You're so good." And my mother said I looked at this woman in the face and said, "And I never had a lesson." And I'm like 5.
Yeah.
So it's always been like a hello, like just it has kind of been like that kind of energy the whole time. Because I was talking to a comic, Jay Larson, who was such a beast.
Yeah.
I love this fuck. He's one of those comics where you watch him and go, "Do I write material? What am I saying?" Like one of my friends, Shalewa Sharp, she's the same way. Like, there's sometimes as a comic where you're just like, "Did I write jokes? Do I know how to do this?
Do I know how to do this?
Do I know how to do this? Because
this
is amazing." And it's like you have these moments when you're growing up where you're just like, there's so many times as a kid, like, I just wanted to be left alone. And then your parents are always like, sit down, do this, like, they were always micromanaging us. But I also, like, as I became an adult, I was like, oh, this was a survival thing.
Well, yeah,
I mean, a black parent, because, like, you don't want to, because, like,
I don't want someone to, number one, I don't want you to attract too much attention.
I don't want you to attract too much attention. I don't want somebody white to say something to my child. I don't want anybody saying it. Like, it's like you. Yeah. And so, as I asked my mom, like, why we left Colorado, and she said because there were more opportunities in Atlanta at the time. Because, like, when you look at, like, the history of the Great Migration, there was one point where a lot of people came back to the South. And then Atlanta especially. And so in Atlanta, it was always so easy to get a job. And it was just a lot of just nonsense you just didn't have to deal with. Yeah. Because the thing is, like, people act like there's plenty of white people in Atlanta.
Lots.
We didn't get rid of them. They didn't all leave. But it's like, people also have to remember, Atlanta's had a black mayor since the 70s.
Are there more black people?
I can tell you the Olympics had a lot come in. But then also, when they started gentrifying Brooklyn in like 2010.
They started moving down too.
Yeah, and them Yankees the worst.
Yeah.
2008, 2010.
It happened in Houston too.
Yeah, same thing. So they either came because they came down to Atlanta, they came down to Houston, and the whole time they came.
And we had Katrina too.
Right. So, and we got Katrina too. Mm-hmm. So it was a big influx of like black people because Katrina, they're from New Orleans, they're from Louisiana. Yeah. So that wasn't a huge shock, right?
Yeah. But Yankee.
But them Yankee came down, and then they made so much noise and they talked so much shit, and it was like they come down here, it was like y'all this country. You came to Georgia.
You came to the country. What you thought was gonna happen?
No, we didn't invite you. You bought a plane ticket down here, and you would ask them, why are you here? Yeah. And you were like, yo, I'm going to stay out of jail. It's better for my daughter. And I'm like, then stop screaming. Take your Timbs off. It's too hot.
No, don't act like they didn't have no Timbs on down in Atlanta.
Girl, they had trench foot. You got on Timbs in July, you're going to lose a toe. Please, put on a sneaker at least. Them Timbs don't breathe.
No, they don't.
You're going to lose a foot. Please, you're going to be a World War I soldier. Please put some other shoes on. But they came downstairs. They came down south being completely ungrateful. Mm-hmm. But it's like you had your house in New York. You sold it for $300,000. They had never seen a lawn before. Like I was working at not that one. It was a trash company. Mm-hmm. And so some counties you have to sign up for your own trash pickup.
Are you like Jamaican or something? You done had every goddamn job in this damn world, girl.
I speak Spanish.
Okay.
So I would be because also I worked a lot of temp jobs.
Okay.
So the assignment lasts as long as it lasts.
But sweetheart, I was like, how? She was like, I used to work for I worked for the governor as well. And once upon a time.
Yeah, I was at Daily Show one day. They're like, how many jobs? I said, I did 1 year. I did get 11 W-2s.
Yeah.
What was it? And so, or what is it for the taxes? The W-2, right?
Or a W-2 or 1099.
So, I 1 year was like, I got 11 W-2s. Because one day I tried to write down all the jobs that I had. Mm-hmm. And then my mother was like, well, remember you worked over here? And I'm like, oh, yeah, I did work there. Yeah, I worked a lot of jobs. Yeah. But then I used to have my own jewelry business. And I used to do kids' birthday parties.
So you are Jamaican.
Well, I'm black from Atlanta. So it's tomato, potato. Yeah. We are always going to have a business. Yeah. Somebody stays selling a plate. Somebody stays event planning. I would always joke. Like I remember meeting like dudes in Atlanta and they tell you what they do. Yeah. And I'm like, sir, is your business card a cube? Why do you have? I'd never seen a business card where I flipped. It felt like a magic trick because he has job in the front and then I flipped it over and then there was more things and then I flipped it over and I was like, how do you
flip one card?
How does it many jobs? How? And it was just like, if I meet one more real estate agent, graphic designer, DJ, I'm gonna fight somebody.
With a catering company.
Everybody, I'm like, well, we can always cook. But yeah, graphic design. I don't know what graphic design is.
You got to tell me where to eat in Atlanta because
I don't know anymore.
Because everywhere I go is fucked. I'm like, this is horrible. This food is gross. What are you talking about?
Everywhere I used to go is gone.
There's one place, it's called Soul Damn Good, and it was good. It was actually good, and I was surprised because every other food I'd had there was trash.
I don't know where to go anymore because all the places that I went to are out of business or they're another business.
How does that happen? Was they not doing well or?
But I also haven't lived in Atlanta in 10 years.
But your mom did.
My mom lived there, but she stayed on the east side. Okay. And so there was the restaurants over there. Those didn't flip out as often. So were the restaurants near the house. Mm-hmm. But for them, like, where to go? I don't fucking know. But even when I lived there, like, the city would change every 2 or 3 years. It'd be like, the fuck did they build this? You know where that McDonald's used to be? We spent a lot of time going, where this used to be, where that used to be. Because it's always been a city that's always been in flux.
That's not bad, though.
It's not, because you have to remember it burned down twice. Uh-huh. And so there's always been, because if you leave Atlanta within 2 hours, you can hit 5 different states. Yeah. So that's why a lot of stuff runs through Atlanta.
South Carolina, North Carolina, Mississippi.
Tennessee. No, South Carolina, North Carolina, Tennessee, Alabama. And then if you want to take a couple.
Mississippi's on the other side.
Mm-hmm. And then if you want to go down 5 hours, you'll hit Florida. Mm-hmm. So you can hit Because you can get, if you leave Atlanta, you can get to Chattanooga in an hour.
Yeah.
So you can get the fuck on if you need to. And so there's always been a lot of places. You can hit 4 states within 2 hours. And then go down to Florida. And so it's always been easy. There's always been a lot of in and out. There's always a lot of like a business going back and forth.
Yeah.
And so that's always been the nature of the city. So things are always changing rapidly in certain parts of the city.
And y'all got that airport.
Yes.
They have that airport. My favorite thing about or least favorite thing about the Atlanta airport is that they're like, we are the most, they said, the busiest and most well-run airport in the world. And I said, you might be the busiest, but the most well-run?
I will say they were one of the last airports to have a smoking lounge. Which I appreciated as a smoker until you went into it and walked out. And you're like, oh, I smell like death.
Yeah. Did you smoke?
I used to.
Oh, cigarettes?
Yes. Loved cigarettes.
What made you quit?
I got sick. Mm-hmm. And then I just kind of was like, my mom said when she turned 39, she just didn't want them anymore. Mm. And then I turned 39. I got sick right before my 39th birthday. Mm-hmm. Like real sick. Yeah. So for like a month. And then once I got better, I was like, what if I didn't smoke today? And then it's just been since then. Nice. But I can say, as you know, we both travel a lot. I don't think any airport is well run.
No.
I don't think any
That's why
airport,
I'm like, why would you?
I've never heard them say, because I remember it was Heathrow for the longest time, and then it became the Atlanta airport.
I like San Francisco. And I like Seattle.
Seattle airport always makes me feel like it just opened or it's about to close. Like the Seattle airport always has enough people to be like, is it?
Then maybe it's San Francisco, I'm thinking. I know it's an S and it's up there.
She's cute.
I like San Francisco. Actually, San Francisco is the one because whenever I'm there, they have all it's very crunchy, but in a good way. You know what I mean? Like they have all the organic things and like they have so many, they have like Filipino food and Korean food. And
I was just in there. It's like, I do hate the fact that they don't have a lot of lounges in that airport.
Yeah, they don't.
And I'm just like, so I'm just
I can't lounge.
Just gin pop? Just
be
out here?
Gin
pop?
Yeah, I don't
gin
like
pop
that.
Situation? But Charlotte Airport is Delta's hub. I mean, American's hub. And it's too big. And you always have to connect through there. And they have no train or nothing.
You're an American girl, too.
I am Delta is one. I am whoever can get me there. So for a long time, I was American because when I was doing colleges, you would do this thing where like the planes just kept getting smaller. Mm-hmm. So I was an American girl for a long time, and then Delta at one point the pricing was really good. Yeah. And now Delta acts like everyone's a fucking multimillionaire. Yeah. So how dare you?
They're all like that.
Yeah. Like I bought a plane ticket. I'm like, who can afford this?
The other day I was getting a plane ticket here to L.A. and I was like, well, this is crazy.
$800.
Well, I was
800 American? Fuck?
For what?
Where?
Where are we going?
Also,
am I going around the world twice?
I have seen, and don't even look at first class. On a Delta flight, I saw a Delta flight one time cross country was $4,000, and I was just like, that is a flight. I could fly to Moscow. $4,000?
Yeah.
I could use this passport.
One way.
You're telling me that I'm still going to be in the contiguous United States.
And it's $4,000.
I'm paying a mortgage?
Yeah.
To go in the sky for 5 hours?
Yeah.
Wish I fucking would.
And won't. But I will upgrade.
What else is on these cards? Points. Are these stunt cards?
No, they're wonderful cards. I had.
We're getting notes.
We didn't do nothing on these cards. Well, I got a couple questions.
Okay.
One of my questions is about you're famously told Don Lemon that your New Year's resolution was no more broke dick.
Absolutely.
And I
go to nomoorebrokeddick.com. There's merch.
Yeah, exactly. There's merch. You have a No More Broke Dick lipstick, right?
Yes.
Lip gloss.
Have a lip gloss called No More Broke Dick. It is a gold color. Because I have a lip gloss line with another comedian, Lace Larrabee, called Giggle Gloss at gigglegloss.com. My mother packs all of the orders. So if you order from us, you will... My mom packed it with love. And we also have accessories now. I make the mirrors. I make makeup bags, all this stuff to go with it.
So have you stuck to just rich dick or at least steady paycheck dick?
I'm waiting to meet that dick. I had one. I had decent money. He owned property. Oh. But he does not live here. And we weren't going we didn't have the same, because I want to get married and have kids, and he doesn't know if he wants that.
Okay. You're still figuring that out.
He's still figuring that out.
I mean, I mean, you're still figuring out the dick that you're gonna get.
Yes, we are still trying to manifest the penis that can pay the mortgage.
Penis that can pay the mortgage. His, yours, all of them. Because I want multiple mortgages. Actually, I don't want multiple mortgages. I just want multiple houses.
You want multiple properties.
Multiple properties.
As a Southern girl does. Because the thing is, there's so many things in the Hobby Lobby that I'm like, oh, I don't have the house for this. I need a different house.
So you're doing Giggle Glass with...
Lace Larrabee.
So
yeah, Giggle Gloss. So I have color. My colors are No More Broke Dick, my ministry.
Yes.
Future Wife, my manifestation, and A Miss Lady, which was a cat call in Atlanta, and then
Hey Miss Lady.
I'm a lady. I'm a lady. I'm a lady. I'm a lady. I'm a lady. But I don't know how to spell that, so I put A Miss Lady.
A Miss Lady. I'm a lady.
And then Lace's colors are Purse Vodka, Lafayette Majora, and I'll Show You Crazy.
Oh, I love Lafayette Majora.
Yeah, I was on Tamron Hall, and they were like, yeah, we can't show the name of that color. I said, yeah, you can. It doesn't say labia.
It says Lafayette.
And I said, also, these are medical. It doesn't say pussy lips, so how about...
pussy lip, lip, pussy.
You
pussy
see what I'm
lip,
saying?
Bitch, pussy.
That could have been the description on the website.
It could have been pussy lip, pussy.
It could have been all of those things.
Do you like all those stop plosives? We have a viewer mail questions.
Ooh.
Bill Tells Jokes.
Does he?
Does he though?
None of my business.
Who's the one stand-up comedian you'd want to share a bill with?
Anybody.
But no, like who's like living or dead?
Oh, living or dead?
Who is one stand-up comedian that you'd like? I wish I could share the bill with this person.
Roy.
I've
never been on a show with Roy.
Really?
Mm-mm.
Wow.
Roy. Roy. I've never done a show with him.
Roy is hilarious.
Let me tell you something. Roy is the reason I was able to, when days were hard at Daily Show, I could talk to Roy. Because here's the thing. When I first got on the show, it's not like every other job I'd been on, I had been trained.
Yeah.
You don't get trained on this job. I described it as, have the running of the bulls in Spain? You walk into work and you're in the running of the bulls and you are trying not to get gored.
Yeah.
And whenever I would have Roy would grab me, throw me on the fence. I could talk to him and he'd be like, all right, go. He really helped me. So at one point I was calling him Uncle Roy out of respect. He might be 5 years older than me. We're two Southern black people, so out of respect, I'd be like, he's like, what up? I was like, I don't know how to do this thing they asked me to do. And so
what would they have you do?
Well, like something when you're first starting, like, having to pitch or just like, trying to doing like first field pieces and like going into meetings and stuff like that. So like I said, you don't get trained.
No.
You just figure it out.
Yeah.
And so I was in the process of figuring it out. And so like, it's like because you kind of like learn by observing. And because I was learning by observing, sometimes I was like, Roy! And so that's what happened a lot of times. I was like, okay, I observed the thing, but I need like further.
But I need more explanation.
Right. I need more explanation. I need further assistance. I need to understand things better. So, but yeah, I would love to do a show with
Roy. Yeah.
And just to be able to because one of the fun things about being in a show is not actually being on stage with the person. It's like when people think about sharing a bill, they only think about the stage.
Oh, yeah. It's the back.
It's the back.
That's my favorite part.
Like that's.
I wasn't on a bill with you, but I did do your makeup for a show.
Yes, when I was in Philly, because I had like these little little pieces of makeup. Because we'd gone to eat, and I was like, we're gonna end up at the show together. And of course, we're getting pouring down raid.
And she was like, let me just put this makeup on real quick. And I was like, girl,
friend,
sit down.
Listen. And now you gave me a new thing. So my other day, I call it, how they have cars have daytime running lights? I call it my daytime running makeup. So it's like, I kind of want to look like it. I don't have anything on right now. But because I did my skin routine today.
Sometimes that's all you need.
But I have just my daytime running, just regular show makeup. And so with the technique you gave me with the highlighter was like here and the here and da-da-da-da-da. I look so cute.
You always do.
Thank you. But I'm like, I had that because my niece had to get the highlighter stick because she used to do like prom makeup for girls when she was in school.
Yeah.
And I remember having that Fenty stick, and I'm like, there's got to be other stuff I can do with this.
I can do something with this.
So I was like, I would put it here and be like, I think I put it on wrong. I was doing it too low because I was here and I needed to be here. Yeah. Also, can we all acknowledge highlighter, just fucking eyeshadow?
Yeah.
It's just big ass pans of eyeshadow. Because I got like a Anastasia highlighter palette that like a makeup artist, I think Jennifer Groza over at RuPaul's Drag Race.
Yeah.
She was like, I've got this extra palette. You want it? I was like, love it. And then I got it. I'm like, it's just big ass eyeshadow.
Exactly.
So since you put eyeshadow on a palette that's as big as blush,
Mm-hmm.
now all of a sudden it's a new thing.
Yeah.
But also, black people highlighter is different.
Yeah, you can't
It's not
use
the
that.
same.
You can't use that
White.
That white or silver tone.
No.
Yeah, it'll make you look gray. Make you look dead.
Dead. Shiny dead.
Shiny dead.
Who wants to be a shiny? I'm just a vampire from Twilight.
Honey,
Shiny dead.
I'm alive, honey.
It's the name of my next album, Shiny Dead.
So would you ever write or star in your own K-drama? Because you have that fabulous podcast.
Yes, I would. I want to do all of the tropes, and I want to be piggybacked on a man while I'm drunk off soju and eat barbecue. I want the makeover. I want the accidental handhold. I want the first kiss that took you 7 episodes to get to.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I would love to be, because what I wanted to do, because I remember meeting with like Netflix and Amazon, because as a performer you just have generals all the time.
Yeah.
And so I remember telling them about Korean dramas like 10 years ago, and they're like, "Wait, what are you watching?" And I was like, "There's Korean television. It's crazy." And there's
really
like, "Do you speak Korean?" I'm like, I need subtitles. There's subtitles.
I read English.
I read English. I don't speak Korean. I read English. And so I would love.
Are you learning Korean?
I'm trying, but here's the thing you have to remember about languages like that, is that when you're dealing with a language with honorifics, there's more vocabulary you have to learn.
Yeah.
So the first part of a conversation is we have to figure out who's older. So we have to figure out who's older, and then that's going to figure out how I talk to you, and then you talk to me. So I remember after watching like all these dramas for all these years, because I started watching them when I in Atlanta, because they had a Korean TV, because Atlanta has a Korean TV station.
Yeah.
I remember watching the show, and I found there were 7 different ways to say thank you. And I was like, how the fuck do you learn this? If there's 7 different ways to say thank you, bitch. So now I was like, okay. But I remember watching it one time, and I was watching one of like because the Korean is different in the historical dramas and then the modern dramas, because the modern dramas, they speak faster. There's a lot of English in the language.
Oh, really?
And there's a lot of English words now in modern. It's like in K-pop where there's like random English words in it. But in the older dramas, I was watching some, and somebody said something, and I just went, that's not what he said. And sometimes I can just pick up stuff. Like, I don't like, if you're talking to me in Korean, I don't know what you're talking about. But like when you're watching something, sometimes I can just go, oh, I know, I've watched enough of these shows where I'm like, oh, that's not the syntax. Like some things are just like, oh, that's not, because I know how the translation of things goes.
Yeah, this is wrong.
And I was like, that's not what he said, because I knew that's not what he said about what the next sentence was. Because the translation didn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Because I'm just like, that's not what Daegam said. He was talking to Debbie Mama. He wouldn't have talked to her like that. So some stuff doesn't just translate weird. But I would love to do, because what I wanted to do was like start getting the rights to some of these Korean shows, because they're so well written and the acting is so good that like before they were ever on Netflix or Amazon or whatever, I was trying to figure out, how do we get the rights? I was talking to my manager, how do we get the rights to these shows? And then because like The Good Doctor, which was so on ABC, was an adaptation of a Korean drama.
Oh, okay.
So I was like, well, if they got The Good Doctor, I was like, I know plenty of shows that would be great for an American audience. But now Netflix owns a bunch of stuff.
Now they got it.
Right. And so unless they do
you put them on.
Listen, I feel like I walked into, that'd be crazy. I know that I was talking to a girl at Amazon who was also Korean American. She was a Korean American, and she goes, wait, why do you watch these shows? And I was like, honey, they're so good.
Because they're so good.
They're so good. But yeah.
You fascinate me. You really do.
Thank you.
And I remember when we met at the Emmys.
Oh yeah, at the after party when I was
Yeah, and I remember, and it was my I had just come off the show.
Yes.
And we were at the Emmys.
That was season what, 15?
Season 16.
16.
Season 15 is Sash Colby.
Yes.
Season 16.
My mother.
Muta. She's my cousin. That's my cousin. So I remember seeing you, and I remember like there's celebrities all around. Everybody is in this party, and I saw Dulce Sloan, and I said to whoever was standing next to me, I don't even forget who that was. I said, that's Dulce Sloan. I'm gonna go say hi. And like there was everybody at this place, and I was like, that's Dulce Sloan. I'm going to go say, she is funny as fuck.
Oh, thank you.
And then I just sort of like walked by you, and I like looked at you, and you were like, mother! And I was like, oh, hi!
Because you were mother of the season.
Yeah.
You were so nice. There were times I was watching, and I was like, she's not going to be able to finish her outfit. She helping everybody else. Why she ought to stop being so nice? Because one of my friends said to me one day, she's like, I'm too nice to people, which is crazy because some people think I'm so. It's so interesting. People have so many.
What think you mean?
Not me. I'm just not always. I mean, I'm a black lady, so people like to say that we're mean. But
facts.
I also have realized that people say that you're mean when they can't get what they want from you.
When they can't manipulate you.
Right. So when you have a boundary, it's like, well, I don't think. I can say, not that people think that I'm mean. There's too many white people worried that I don't like them because I've had too many white comics, especially white girls, come up to me and go, oh, I thought you didn't like me. And I was like, I don't know your name.
I would have to know you to
right. And so I had to say this one girl, a comic in New York, she's like a Middle Eastern girl. She's like, I thought you, she's like, I was really thirsty. She's like you don't like me. And I was like, I don't know who you are.
I'm sorry.
I don't. And she's like, what do you mean? I said, we've never met.
I'm ambivalent.
We've never met. I said, it's not that I don't like you. I don't have any feelings because I don't know you. And it's a very odd thing. So I was actually very excited to see. That was a very weird night.
Why was it weird?
What was on a personal level for me? But like it was also an exciting night because it was Trevor. Trevor won an Emmy.
But didn't you win an Emmy?
Not that year. I didn't win till the year after.
Oh, a different year. You're talking about a different thing.
So that year is when Trevor won.
Okay.
And so what people don't know is that because the correspondents aren't on the show every single day, we're considered guest stars. We're not considered main cast. So we're not eligible for an Emmy when the show goes up for an Emmy. So I won an Emmy the following year for hosting the show. Because since the host is on the show every day, and all of the hosts got nominated. So when the show won, that's how I won an Emmy.
Oh, gorgeous.
But yeah, when Trevor won, so the Daily Show for Trevor Noah won. None of the correspondents got one. Yeah. When the Daily Show won, because there was no host. Designated host.
Right now it's still the Daily Show, right?
I think they still call it, but John hosts on Monday, and then the correspondents are the rest of the week. But I left at the end of 2024. It was 7 years. 7 is the year of completion. Yeah. New beginnings, all of that. So I was like, you know what? Because I'd become a contributor after I left, and so I became a contributor in May of 2023. And then I contributed, and then I hosted, and I won an Emmy, and I'm like, I think I'm good.
Yeah.
So I stayed there as long as I needed to, but I also I moved out here, so there was only so much that I could do as a contributor. Yeah. But I was like, I had to get out of New York. I had to come back out here. This is where I always wanted.
New York City.
I hated New York, and the way that people get so upset, I literally had to look someone in the face and go, "Hey, I didn't deny a genocide. I said it in like a city.
I just said it in like a city.
Yeah. I didn't say the Earth was flat. I said it in like a city. You see what I'm saying?
I don't care if you think the Earth is flat.
I would rather you think the Earth is flat than argue with me about New York.
Yeah.
Because people who will argue with you probably have more proof that the Earth is flat than you can prove to me that New York is great. I will listen. Maps. Sure.
I hate New York, so
fine.
You're not gonna.
But it's very.
Convince me.
After my half hour came out in 2019, and I start my half hour going. I was forced to move to New York because of success. And when I would do interviews, the number of people in interviews were like, "Well, you hate New York." I said, "Yeah, and I'm tired of talking about it."
Yeah, I wrote a joke about it.
You watch my half hour. I said, "Oh yeah, I'm going to half hour." So when I was promoting the half hour, I would talk about it. 2 years after the half hour, no. The half hour, I condensed everything down to a joke scenario to explain to you. I presented all my evidence.
This is why I hate New York.
Right, but I would always say, if you tell people you don't like New York, a fucking projector screen comes out of nowhere, and now somebody has to start a PowerPoint presentation about why the city is so great. Yeah. And I was like, and I said to someone, I was like, if New York was so great, why did people flee from it during COVID? Because they didn't leave LA like people left New York. There was people leaving. There was 200 people a day leaving Manhattan during COVID.
Yeah. Everyone's on top of each other. No one has time for that shit.
So one of the jokes, I talk about one of the reasons that it's so hard to live in New York is because you can't murder anybody because there's too many witnesses. And just to let you, so basically I broke it down. So at the time, the population of New York was 8 million people, and the city's 300 square miles. So if you break that down, there's 5,280 feet in a mile. Which means that is 27,000 people per mile.
Mm-hmm.
Then if you break that down per square foot, there's 5.5 people.
Yeah.
Per square foot.
Yeah.
Of space. And you can't go out, so you have to go up. So all I could think about when I first started writing this joke was I'm just walking around, there's 4.5 people above my fucking head. And I was just like, and I just felt like when those, the little Sims have like the triangle above them.
Yeah.
I felt like it just had 4.5 fucking
people just standing on top of it.
On top of my head. And I'm just like, this is too much. So I used to know a comic who said every time he landed in New York, his teeth would grind.
Uh-huh.
And so it was just a lot of tension, a lot of pressure. And I get to this place and I was just like, so you mean to tell me that they done found 2 ice islands, strapped them together with 5 bridges, and then invited the whole world? Sounds stupid.
Yeah.
Also, they were building these apartments back in the early 1900s where you could sit on a toilet and open a stove. For what?
Why?
For who? And then I found out why you can't control. Because also, I couldn't control my heat and I didn't have air conditioning.
Yeah, yeah.
So they think we're country and all this other shit, but we figured out HVAC. So I'm in some apartment and the lady was like, oh, it's a pre-war apartment. I was like, bitch, which war?
Yeah.
When have we not been at war? Come on.
Pre-war.
Listen, is this World War II or Desert Storm? Pick a war.
Pick a war.
Which
Let
one?
me know.
Let me know, ma'am. So I'm in my. Someone told me one day because I was talking about how my heat just comes on.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't turn it off.
It's controlled by the building.
It's controlled by the building. You can't turn it off. And so you have to literally crack your windows because it's 75 degrees in my apartment.
And it's 2 degrees outside.
2 degrees outside.
Yeah.
And so they go, oh, they did that on purpose. I said, what do you mean? It's to make sure people open their windows because they would have plagues run through apartment buildings when there were tenements because you had 5 families living in one apartment. And if one person got sick, everyone got sick.
Yeah.
And it's mainly because there's not an open window and it's hot as shit in here. So you've made a jungle. So they do that so you will open your windows to get fresh air in. And I'm like, y'all live like savages.
Yeah. And you want to call that the greatest city in the country.
Have you ever...
In the world, sometimes they say it's the greatest city in the world.
Have you been...
To New York City.
Have you been to Turks and Caicos? What are you talking about?
Oh, baby. There's...
You been to a beach?
Have you been to a beach?
This is the greatest city on earth. Bitch, have you been to Honolulu? Come on.
Dulce, where can the people find you?
Well, I'm on Al Gore's internet.
Are you on tour?
My tour dates are at dulcesloan.com, DULCESLOAN.com, dulcesloan.com. Tour dates are on there. And then you're looking for my ministry is nomoorebroke.com. Mm-hmm. I have throw pillows, I have stickers, I have magnets.
Lip gloss.
We have the lip gloss, gigglegloss.com. You can also get the No More Broke Dick lip gloss on nomoorebroke.com because when the Lord puts a ministry on your heart, you must share it with the world.
Yeah.
And then I have my podcast, Chasing K-Dramas. And I'm just outside, just try to be in the mall with your dad.
Yeah. My dad's dead, but
so I can't go shopping with your tiny dad. Got it.
But it's been a pleasure having you here.
Thank
love you so much.
I love you too. I just come in for a ramble, but I can say I was very happy to meet you at the Emmys because I was bored out of my fucking mind.
We hung out for the rest of the
because I was sitting there. I don't remember why I was still there. Mm-hmm. Oh, because my date wanted to do. He'd never been before. I think it was my 5th time. Mm-hmm. So he wanted to see people. He wanted to talk. He just wanted to take it all in.
Yeah.
And I shouldn't have even taken him. But, girl, platonic as hell. And he had been lying to me for my... That's not the point. That's not the point. We're wrapping up this show. But, sometimes you ask the Lord to send you a husband. You have to be more specific.
Yeah.
Because you have to go send me my husband.
Send me the husband that I desire.
Right. Because sometimes husbands will show up.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, your divorce isn't final, so you're still technically...
You're a husband.
You're a husband. That's why I say, Lord, send me a husband. Lord, sent you a husband. I was like, no, my husband. Don't send me other people's husbands.
Send me my husband that I like.
My husband that I like, as opposed to someone's former husband that they got rid of.
Yeah.
And he's just out in the streets loose.
Yeah.
And doesn't have a nice lady to talk to, and then I show up.
Yeah.
And I'm not catching no dick.
But you were saying you enjoyed meeting me?
Yes, I would love, because you were one of my favorite on your season, and I had never seen anyone like you on the show, because not to say that other girls weren't confident. It was kind of like how Latrice Royale was confident. We're just like, it was confident in a way where just like, critiques won't break me.
No.
I'm trying to describe this in a way where it doesn't sound like I'm being a bitch.
No, go ahead. Say what you gotta say.
Well, it's like because I've watched every season of the show, like literally logo
Yeah.
You know, it was in the back when Logo was in the back of cable.
Mm-hmm. You had to search for that thing.
It was like the Africa channel and then Logo, and I think most of Logo's programming was just reruns of Noah's Ark. So which I'd never seen, but somehow had also
the
seen.
Golden Girls.
Right. So it was interesting to watch you on the show because that season it seemed like there were a lot of girls who weren't confident and who weren't capable. Mm-hmm. And it seemed like you were doing a lot of hand holding.
You know, I feel like sometimes it's just necessary to be that person. You know, you don't know why you're in a place. Mm-hmm. And then I realized that, like, and I see these girls now and they have grown so much since then. Yes. But they didn't need someone like Bob. Like, Bob is great and actually very helpful, but also extremely sure of himself. Yes. And I was extremely sure of myself, but I also was extremely sure that I wanted to help everyone else. And the reason why I could help people is because I already knew what I was doing. Right. I already knew that I could make, like, when I helped Maya, it took me 10 minutes to cut her dress out for her and to tell her what to do. It took me 10 minutes.
Because they made it look like
I was doing it all day long. But, like, it's just
sometimes, so you can blame it on the edit, is what you're saying.
Nope, I never said that at all, honey.
Not you. Because sometimes you're like, people like try to blame it on the edit, and I'm like, that's not true. But it only took you 10 minutes to cut out this dress. But they made it seem like you had been making her dress and you weren't making your own dress.
I think that that's just the way that it seemed. But, like, if you, like, looked at it like, I cut my dress out. I was kind of already done with my thing. And I was like, hell yeah, this is how you do this. I taught her how to pattern her own dress. And then I had, like, a pattern. I was like, just go make this real quick. Like, it's so easy. Making that dress that she wore, especially, like, in the Wednesday Addams challenge, was so easy. And I was like,
you don't know how to make clothes, it's very my mother had a clothing business when I was a kid, so I learned how to sew when I was like a little girl. She had a children's clothing business where she made little girls' clothes, and it was named after me, and I was one of the models. So I was in a pinning patterns with her and helping her cut out stuff, and she taught me how to use a sewing machine, which a sewing machine is a very scary thing to use.
It is.
Like, it's just like, it's this machine, or it's like, like it makes so much noise, you're just like, I don't think it needs to make this much noise.
But it does, apparently.
But it does. And my mother has, like, sergers at the house.
Same.
I'm also surprised they don't have sergers on the show.
They do.
That's what I thought.
We had one. So, like, the funny thing about that is I actually talked to the person who taught me how to drag sew recently. I saw them.
So drag sewing is different sewing because is it faster or is it stronger?
Faster. It's just faster. It's just like, and the person who they like make a lot of drag clothes, and they taught me how to make a bodysuit, a leotard, and a gown. And once you know how to do those three things, then you can adjust and add things and take things away.
What's the difference between a bodysuit and a leotard?
A bodysuit's a cat suit.
Oh, you need a cat suit.
A cat suit, a leotard, and a gown. And it was the easiest thing to do. And so when I made her thing, I just took her measurements and I made her own pattern based off it. It is much easier than you think. And especially if I'm a quick study. And so I told her, I said, it was because of you that I was able to do so well in those challenges, because I just remembered what you taught me and then I did it. And she was like, I didn't realize that you were paying attention.
That's very funny.
I said, I know I can look a little spacey, but I sure did. I learned a lot. I actually was making a lot of my own clothes when I got there. And it was easy, and it made it possible for me to help designers. It made it possible for me to know what I wanted made.
Right.
And it helps me know how difficult something is. So when a designer says, oh, I'm going to charge you for that, and I'm like, I'm good, thank you. Because let me let you know something. I know how easy that is to make. I'm not going to pay that.
That's when it comes, like, I used to, like, when I had my jewelry business, people would like talk about how much things cost. And I'm like, that's not how much that costs.
That's not how much that costs. Dulce, you are an American treasure. You are a jewel.
Thank you so much.
And I love you so much.
I love you too.
And I thank you so much for coming and joining me on Sapphira.
Of course.
And thank you for joining Dulce and me on Sapphira. Always remember to truly love and accept who you are, when you are, where you are, how you are. You are perfect today.